Okay, let's settle into this first track here. I'm going to arrange and structure this jungle piece. Basic template, everything set up in a 16-bar section. Along the left here is my audio pool. What I've done prior to this, the pre-production, is all the MIDI-based performances and sound have been recorded as audio. Little 16-bar sections. I'm just going to draw from this pool on the left, start building my sequence from here. Alright, let's go. Just drawing from my pool of tracked MIDI parts. There's a reverse crash cymbal. Introduce the song. Acoustic guitar parts with a step filter applied. Just going to copy them up. Down at the bottom there's a ride cymbal. It's just going to provide pace all the way through. Just fading in the amplitude on my guitars. Here's my drum pattern, my first 2 bars of my drum loop. I have them come on and off for the first 2 sets of 16 bars. Now I want to switch over. From now on I'm going to work from this song as one sequence, one track. Selecting all my parts, I'm going to repeat them. Yeah, this is a typical dance or club based song. Every 16 bars you take something away, you bring something back. You introduce something, you take something away. So there's the rides, the drums. I'm going to change it up there. Grab the full drum loop. First 16 bar section, the second 16 bars. Here comes my pads, the atmospheric sounds. I'm going to shrink up, just use the first 8 bars of that 16 bar section, copy them across. Gonna save the break for later. I just pinched in 1 extra bar there, so the rhythm will totally drop before entering to that next section. Those are the 3 bass lines. We got a left and a right pan bass and a centered pan bass. That bass on the bottom there's a center pan with the low ends pinched out. We'll really hear the bass drop when the second 16 bar section happens and we have the lows on either side come in. Here I am just repeating the bass lines. At this point I'm working ahead of the game. I know where I'm going. I know I've got to get to a break. At that break the rhythm section stops. After that break we're going to return to everything else, and that will happen for another 2 sets of 16s and we'll outro. So right now I'm thinking at least 100 bars ahead of what I'm listening to. And we have the lows on either side come in. Opening up my loop points here so I can advance. Got the full bass in. Full drum loop. Pads are starting to walk up. What I've got over here on the left, this is the ethereal pad sounds that will come in. They'll be introduced at the break. I'll copy them across till the end of the song. Likewise, here comes the pads to complement them. Copy that twice. Ride cymbal, which will provide pace whenever there isn't any loops. Copy that across. Open up my loop points. I'm going to bring in a drum part. Copy the original 16 bar loop in. Then grab the second half. This time I want to open it up because there's 2 dropouts I'm using here for punctuation. Best way to punctuate something with music is to take it all away. It's like jumping into a cold pool when you've been in a hot sauna. It just amplifies the return. What else I'll do with that to amplify or heighten that return is put a reversed crash cymbal, a reversed hi-hat. This sucking sound works well. Opening up the locator points, moving into the full return here. I copy the little stab hits and the reversed hi-hat. Again, I'm thinking now about 32 bars ahead where I am. Here comes the return from the break. Here comes the guitars. This time they're not going to be faded in. I want to hear them right away. Open that up to the end of the sequence. Copy my guitar parts again. Just the second 16-bar section of it. Fade out. Last 8 bars. Just opening the locators to the final sequence length. Copying across the reverse hi-hat cymbal. Just to punctuate into the last 8 bars. Grabbing the kicks and snares. Let's just augment the rhythm section when we return here. Copying that out again. I've got both an automated step filter, volume automation, and EQ automation happening on both the guitar parts. Now we're going to return back in. Hear it with the accents with the kicks and snares. Just touching up the fade outs on the guitars. Just a layered kick and 2 snares, complementing the kicks and the snares within the drum loop itself. Now don't get lost that it takes 6 minutes to structure a song like this. You know, the time that you didn't see was in the pre-production. Integrating the melodies, lines, the basses, structuring the rhythm section, playing the parts, recording the parts. This was just the arrangement of it, the structuring. After this, move into the final phase of setting the levels, tighten all EQ settings, automation, output a 2-mix file. From that 2-mix file, I'm going to set up a pre-mastering, a ghetto pre-mastering session, bring in that 2-mix, take a look at its deficiencies within its frequency range, where the dominant frequencies, try to balance that out with compression, EQs, do a final output of that file, which I can burn and send off. With proper techniques and the proper training on the gear that you can purchase at a consumer level, be producing music for the world from your basement, from your sunroom, or your parents' house. Get properly trained and purchase proper gear. Peace in, dudes.